My name is Shauna, and I struggle with depression and anxiety. I believe that I struggled with depression the majority of my life, but it really became relevant in the last 3 years. The Lord called me out of my career into going into full-time ministry, and in that, it was like hitting the brakes on a car going 200 miles per hour. I started identifying a lot of different things going on in my heart and my life that I wasn't even aware of. I had a hard time with that because I really had to go from how I identified myself as a really strong, independent woman to really being humble and broken and not understanding why and what it is, and even just trying to make sense of it, to then really seeking the Lord and saying, okay, what now? Like, I know I'm doing what you're calling me to do, but there's so much happening in the meantime. And so I seeked friendships within the church to ask advice and see if they could really encourage me and love on me, maybe someone who else has experienced it. But it really wasn't talked about, you know, and when it was discussed in a way of, you know, you just need more faith in the Lord. You just let go and let God, you know, and it was in a way of, okay, I'm taking this in, and these are trusted people speaking into my life, but it just didn't line up with where I really was in my darkness. And so it was discouraging. You know, I went through a really emotional roller coaster of trying to figure out what to do, really just how to live in the struggle that I was going through. I started trying to figure out my schedule and eliminating certain pressures, and really just really pushing myself through things and just trying to get a hold and a grip on my emotions. There's even been points where my husband took my feet off the bed, put them on the floor, grabbed my hands and pulled me up because I didn't want to do anything that day. I didn't want to serve the Lord that day. I didn't want to do anything but just lay there in the darkness that I was feeling. It's so funny that I can look into someone else's life and allow God to guide me to speak truth into them, but I couldn't really identify that myself because of where I was in my darkness. And so then in return, God used other people to speak into my life and to tell me, hey, it's okay, you know, and this is something that you've got to take serious, and you've got to get the help that you need from a medical standpoint. What I've learned through this process is what having joy in the Lord is. It's not something that you can just go out and obtain. It's not something that you can seek happiness from the world. It's something that, despite the darkness, God can truly give you a joy that only He can give you if you continue to keep your eyes on Him. I started really living out and understanding what the scripture says in 2 Corinthians 9, where it says, your grace is sufficient for me, and my power is made perfect in your weakness. I'm nothing without Him. My purpose here in life is nothing if Christ isn't in it. And yes, it's still very dark at times and days, and I don't know what tomorrow will look like. But what I do know is there's a reason why He still has me breathing, and there's a reason why I'm still here. And every day I'm going to take it for what it is, and I'm going to seek Him out and ask Him to help me to get through that day and do what I can for Him that day.